Chapter 10. Everyone was awake, and everything had been made ready for their departure for Corshall. Their ship was awaiting them at the dock. Dennis, Oslin, and Dinka stood by Copa's side the whole while, and Tavo, Ive, and Primoana were close by. The king led them to an exit, different from the one at which they had arrived, as others followed. "Immortal!" the king called, not remembering the girl's name. Primoana approached him. "Yes," she replied. She was clueless as to why he'd even called upon her. "I forgot your name," the king said to her. "Primoana," she told him. He then pulled out a scroll and opened it. "Copa is our prophet, but the prophecy was written by one of the diminished immortal tribes." "How did the gargoyles get a hold of it?" she asked. "They were killed by dragons. Someone found it, said it was the only thing of value left behind." She looked at the rip at the bottom. "Was there more?" "Not that I know of. I just figured you should have it." "Thank you," Primoana told him. "You're welcome." The king then grabbed another scroll and handed it to Copa. "This is the map. You can give it to Primoana," Copa told the king. "Come home safe, honey," Oslin said, giving Copa a kiss. "I will," Copa promised. "May your trail be wondrous," the king said his farewells. Tavo, Ive, Copa, and Primoana boarded their ship and set for sail. This time, without being watched so closely for a false move, the same gargoyles that escorted them from the first time now chaperoned them west. It didn't take long before the boat touched down land, for Corshall had also moved west the night before. "Okay, precisely where did you place us?" Primoana asked one of the guiding gargoyles. "Just north of the Congealment River." He nodded. "Be safe." Primoana pulled out the map from her cloak and studied it as she walked off the ship. "Monte is big. There are a lot of ways to get to the slave cave," she remarked. "Find the longest way," Tavo said, "away from the main trails. We want to be as discreet as we possibly can." "The way this map looks, we might be napping in here somewhere," she said. "That's not something we can afford," Tavo said. "We'll nap beforehand and then make our way through." "That's what I'm saying. Even if we take a nap beforehand, we're going to have to take a nap because of the hike," Primoana explained. "We really don't know what we're up against, and we've got to be 100% to expect the unexpected. If we fall to sleep, we could be killed, but at the same time, you're right." "Have you two forgotten about me?" Copa interrupted their discussion. "I'll watch over you as you sleep." "I'm not sleeping, and I'm not continuing this conversation," said Tavo. "Under whose orders?" "I will not risk my life because you want to drag this out," Primoana said firmly. "So you can either accept it or not. We're taking a break after the river." She informed them and turned away, walking in front of all of them. Tavo knew he could not say a word, as it would be wrong for him to ignore her reasons because she spoke only the truth. Ive followed her. "You okay?" he asked, adjusting his double-bladed staff on his back. "Yeah," Primoana answered him. He smiled. "I've noticed something new with you." "What?" she asked, now looking at him. "You haven't closed your cloak lately," he said, noticing how her cloak flew over her shoulders, exposing her timelessly young figure. "You know something, Ive? The gargoyles taught me to be secure with myself, and it feels good," she explained. "That's good. You still dropping?" he asked. "No, I should be fine on the trails. I'm all clean." "Can I see the prophecy?" asked Ive. "Sure," she said, and handed it over to him. Ive took the scroll from Primoana to look at it for himself. It was remarkable to him that so long ago he was foreseen. "This is absolutely amazing," he said to himself as he looked over the art. Under his own likeness was written, Warrior of Skill. Under Copa's was Gargoyle of Strength. Under Tavo's, Wiccan of Magic. And under Primoana's was Immortal of Wisdom. He then looked up at Primoana and said, I guess Tavo can't say too much of anything to you. From what the prophecy says, you're the wise one. My sketch looks a little off though, he remarked as he handed the scroll back to Primoana. I guess just because you can do or know magic doesn't make you a wise man, I've laughed. What's so funny? Primoana asked with a half smile. You'll be a great leader one day, I've said. I'm not ready for that at all, she told him. One day you will. One day far away. I have way too much time before I settle in one place. I want to see the world, change over 1,000 times, and help it grow, she told him. Like you're doing now? Asked Ive. They both smiled at one another. Yeah, she replied. Walking a little way further, the group journeyed over a small hill that uncovered the view of some of the land, and for most they could see mainly big hills and wildlife to the northwest. The sight was beautiful, but the hills made things more difficult and complicated. I bet you wish you had wings, huh? Copa said. They looked over the horizon. Real funny, Ive said. Do you know this land, Primoana? Tavo asked. No, and trust me, if I did, we wouldn't be taking this walk, she remarked and then thought for a moment. She then suggested, if Copa could fly me. That's too much of a risk, Tavo cut her short. You never know where a dragon may be lying, and we don't need any attention. Although the beasts are big, for some reason they can hide themselves quite well. Besides, we might need to retreat, he said, looking at Primoana. We just can't end up anywhere. Primoana understood that if time called for a quick leave and for a safe distance, that they could end up right where they now stood. Well, we'll walk then, she said. Hey, Ive said. He had seen something in his view, just southwest from where they stood. Copa? He asked as he pointed. Tell me if you see what I see. Is that a boat right there? Copa focused his superior vision to where Ive was pointing and agreed. Yeah, it's a boat. Come on then. Ive headed towards the boat. I know you don't plan on just taking it, right? Primoana asked as she followed. You don't even know who it belongs to. We'll find out, and if nobody is there to claim it, we will, said Ive. The group approached the boat, looked about, seeing no one at all in sight. It'd be better use to them to depart with. Over there, said Copa, pointing toward a cave that was partially hidden by bushes. They walked over to the cave's entrance. No, Copa, Ive stressed. Let's just take it. It's not that serious, Ive, Copa said, looking back at Ive. All it is a ride across. I've seen this before, Primoana interrupted, trying to remember where she had seen this. In your dreams? Tavo asked. Yeah, I think so, nodded Primoana. Everything from her dreams was coming back to her, as if in replay. In her mind, she saw flashing bright lights and an explosion. From the cave, she said aloud. Then she quickly turned to Copa and yelled, Copa, jump! Jump now! Shh! A strange hissing sound, eruption, came from the cave, and Copa could feel the violent release of energy as he quickly leaped to the side. The wild, white-hot blast streamed from the cave's opening, and Ives dropped flat to the ground, barely dodging the blast. He could feel the heat radiating past him and could hardly just imagine how the pain would have been if he had hit him directly. Primoana saw what was happening, grabbed a hold of Tavo, and teleported them out of the blaster's path. Another sound exploded from the cave, just as a figure stepped from the cave's depth and into the light. Everyone looked at him. All four stared, transfixed. It was a man made of stone. His main color was blackish stone gray, blue, but in the middle of his chest was chalk-like white, almost shoulder to shoulder and down to the mid of his abdomen, where you could see his chalk-white polka dots along his abs. The white on his chest seemed to quickly fade into darker colors, as the same for the chalk white over the front of his face. From his hands, almost to his elbows, and from his feet, nearly to his knees, he was built like a true legend, magnificent. They could feel his power, more just standing in his presence. He was something you don't see every day, nor wanted to on a bad one. "You destroyed my boat," said the man of stone. They all looked back behind them and saw that the boat was indeed destroyed. "No," Ive said, turning back to the stone man. "You just destroyed the boat." "We didn't come to fight you," Copa said as he landed back on solid ground. "We just wanted to know if you'd give us a ride," he explained. "Until you destroyed it," Ive continued. "I just wanted to make that clear. You destroyed it." He pointed his finger to the stone man. "And now we can't get to the other side. Now we have to walk because of you destroying the boat," Ive shouted. "I'm sorry we disturbed you," Primoana started to say to the stone man. "I'm sorry you destroyed the boat," Ive said, cutting off Primoana's words. "Please don't mind him," Primoana said to the strange man, indicating Ive. "We just have quite a way to go yet." She then paused a moment, as if in thought, and then asked the stone man, "It appears that you live in this area, so I was wondering if you know a faster way west?" Ive couldn't keep quiet. "Yeah, because the quickest way was, Ive." "Stop it," Primoana told him sharply. "Why?" the stone man asked. "We can't really explain why," Primoana replied. "You invade my home, destroy my..." The stone man started to say the words that were cut off. "No, you," Ive said, not willing to let this go. "Shut up, Ive." Primoana put her hand over Ive's mouth to keep him from uttering another sound. She then nodded to the stone man to continue. "And then you ask for my services? So you decide, and with this combination, it behooves you to tell me the truth." Primoana took a deep breath and decided on the truth. "We're trying to get to Monte." "A suicide mission," the stone man snickered and turned back toward the cave he came out. "Follow me," he said. "This may be faster, but it will still take up its own time." He proceeded back inside the cave. We're not hungry or anything," Ive called to the stone man, wondering why he would ask them to come in his cave home. "Follow me," the stone man said, looking back over his shoulder to the strange quartet, and continued to walk deeper into the cave. "I don't like surprises," Ive mumbled as he followed his companions inside the cave. Inside the cave wasn't damp and dark as the group had imagined. Creepy as it would seem, the walls were smooth, and so was the path. The roof was rough though, and there was little light once you went deeper, about 90 feet or so inside. "Is this your home?" Primoana asked the stone man. "I think I told you that already," the man replied. "Yeah, but I mean, you don't have, friends or someone else around?" "No," he answered. "Don't you get lonely?" she asked him. "Why the questions?" he asked her. "That's a question with a question," she started to say. "To that question, I don't feel like answering." He told her abruptly, and then looked at her and saw that she looked as if her feelings were hurt. "Sorry," he said to her. "At least tell me your name," Primoana said. "Nova," he replied, and saw her smile. "What are your reasons of going to Monte?" he asked her. "Trying to save someone from the caves or something?" "Is that a question?" She looked at him and asked. "I think that was a question." "I think I just forgot the way out of here," he responded, a bit of dry humor in his voice. Primoana looked about at the many paths they weren't taking, not knowing where they each may lead, and quickly changed her answer to his question. "Okay, what was that again?" "Monte," he asked. "Dragon," Primoana finally admitted. You do know those that enter may never return, said the stone man. We'll be fine, Primoana told him. We're properly equipped. I've seen very little come through and none leave, the stone man told them. So you've made this walk before? I've asked. Once or twice. The others I notice as they pass through. The Sovereign Land's trail can be tough on one's body, Nova replied. Sovereign? Tavo questioned. Why is it called the Sovereign Lands? Immortals, replied Nova. Are immortals there? Primoana asked. She so hoped that they were. Oh no, Nova responded. The land was the last of any immortal sightings. It was the last tribal resting place before they were killed off. Immortals are like myths now. I am an immortal, Primoana told him. Well then, I'm very glad to meet you, Nova told her. And you? She answered with a smile. Are there any others like you? No. Well, not that I know of, he answered. Parents? She asked. Not a clue, he said. Primoana could almost feel his pain. I too have been where you've been. I'm like you. I was also alone. I like being alone though, Nova said, then called out to the group. Watch your step, all of you. Nova led them further and deeper down into the cave. They came to a very deep dark gap within the bowels of the cave. The various parts now became platforms that again went into many different directions. This looks dangerous, Primoana said, as she peered into the wide empty space between the platforms. It's not really. It holds my weight, Nova said, and I weigh more than any of you. Tavo, this looks very narrow and uneven, Primoana expressed her concerns. I'll be fine, Tavo assured her as they began to walk across the platforms, following Nova's steps. What's down there? Copa asked, staring into the darkness below him. I don't know. Never been down there, answered Nova. For real? Copa asked as he crouched down for a better look. What are you doing? Primoana asked him. She saw a curious look on Copa's face. I want to know what's down there, Copa said. We don't have time for this, Copa, Tavo told him. I may never get this opportunity again, insisted Copa, and he leaped into the dark space below the platforms. Copa! No, Copa! Primoana shouted in frustration as they watched his diving body and then vanish in the dark space below the depths of the cave. Copa! She shouted again. Copa! I've also called out. Come on, Copa, stop playing, Primoana begged. I say we leave him, Ive said without any guilt. Oh, stop it, Primoana told Ive. I'm so sincere, affirmed Ive. Hey, hey, hey. Copa's voice echoed from below. Hey, Primoana called back into the darkness. Bring your naked ass back up here, she yelled to him. Copa laughed and called back. Here I come. There's not much down here anyway, except some incredibly old dead people. Some of them kind of look like they fell to their death. You can see down there? Nova asked the immortal girl. And I can hear, Copa responded. All right, I'm coming up. Finally, Ive said. Hey, what the? Copa said cautiously. What's the what? Primoana asked, noticing the change in Copa's voice. I swear, something just flew past me, responded Copa. Get up here now, Copa. We can't see you, Tavo called to him. Oh fuck, they heard Copa cry out. Copa? Copa! Copa! They all shouted. No! Oh, get it off! Get it off! They could hear Copa, and they felt helpless as all they could do was stand there and wait, their hearts pounding with anxiety, emotions twisted as they stood there. Help! Oh, help me! Help me! Oh God, help me! Somebody help me! Copa cried, continued as the group held their breath. Then full-blown laughter broke out from Copa as he slowly rose from the pit in front of the others. Oh, the pain, he chuckled and touched himself. It hurts so badly. He faced the group with a grin. That's not funny at all, you stupid fuck. Primoana cried in rage. Is that a tear? Copa asked, as he noticed a wet streak beneath Primoana's eye. No, she answered angrily as she wiped her tears away. You ever do that again and you will wish you were dead, asshole. Nova, the emotionless stern man, even had a laugh at her. Ah, Primoana? Copa flew up and landed by her side. Don't touch me, she admonished, and pushed him off the platform. Copa fell back into the space and immediately came back up to land beside Tavo. That was funny, Tavo admitted. I gave Copa a pound fist to fist. Triftlin. He smiled. We'll rest here for a few minutes, and then we'll continue. Finish this trail in a few, Nova decided. After their short break, Nova led the foursome onward. They made their way out of the cave on the other side. They all expressed their gratitude to the stone man. It was nice meeting you, Nova started to say to Primoana. Primoana, she answered. Right, Primoana, he replied, and nodded to the rest as they waved goodbye.